This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Right, so I'm about to do the Q&A with the channel members where they put in the questions and then I will answer them in video. So that one will follow this one. And if anybody wants to be a channel member, link in the description box of this video or any video, and you get your name on the credits of the opening of each and every video, plus some other perks as well, such as this one. Now, as I'm going through some of the questions to prepare myself, one of them popped out and I thought, you know what, I can't answer this one along with the other 15 to 20 questions that I've got without making it a very, very long video. So I thought I'd pull this particular question out. So Nathan Kerr, who asked this question, I hope you don't mind, I'm doing it on its own. And of course, I'm not going to do each question as a video on its own, because again, that will take me forever. But on this one, it's a very, very interesting question, and I've been asked it before, but I thought I'd dedicate an entire video on it. So the question to me was this, from Nathan Kerr, as I said: would you ever want or to see yourself working in the boxing industry? And if so, in what area of the sport would you choose to work in and why? And you can't say, I want to have a YouTube channel. So a YouTube channel, is that work in the boxing industry? No, of course it's not. It's just me and whoever else. We just talk about the boxing news, for example. In some ways it kind of is, because you are helping certain fighters sell tickets. You're helping promote their particular names or their brands and whatever else it may be. You talk about a Matchroom show, you're promoting the Matchroom brand and Sky Sports. The same with Frank Warren and BT Sport, Bob Arum, Top Rank, ESPN, Al Heyman, PBC, etc, etc. So in some ways you kind of are, but in a unofficial capacity. So you don't have an employer outside of YouTube and that, I suppose. But actually working in the boxing industry as an official title. So I'm a trainer, I'm a manager, I'm a promoter, a matchmaker, blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't have any plans on doing it. It's not something that I really think about, you know what, I need to start making a move on this one and try and get a license so I can do this, that and the other. Now, to get a license within the British Box Board of Control, as an example, while you don't necessarily need British Box Board of Control license, you can look elsewhere. But predominantly here in the UK, that's what people do. It's not as easy as people think. I've heard quite a few stories of people trying to get a manager's license or a promoter's manager's, and the kind of hoops that you've got to go through. You've got to do an apprenticeship. So you're pretty much working within the industry in an official yet unofficial capacity. So you've got to work, I don't know, probably about 2 or 3 years to get it under your belt, just so you've got that on your CV. So when you apply to go in front of the panel to get your license, you've got something in the history. Now, of course, for me, I don't have the greatest relationships with British Box Board of Control. I mean, I've said some pretty positive things about them, and I've said some pretty derogatory things about them as well. So that's not going to help me, is it? But right now, do I have a plan on doing it? No, not really. But I suppose anybody, if I was to ask anybody this particular question, to everybody who listens to my channel or any other channel or any boxing fan, would you want to? A lot of people will say yes. There's something there that they wouldn't mind at least dipping their toe into, outside of being the boxer, of course, where some people may want to be a manager, some people may want to be a promoter, some people may want to be a matchmaker or a referee or a timekeeper or whatever it may be, a judge, okay? So would there be certain jobs that I would do? Well, I'm pretty adept. I mean, I'd give anything a go, to be honest with you. There's nothing that I wouldn't try and I'd feel confident of doing. I'm pretty confident in my own ability. I've been quite successful in my own working life, but there are certain things that I would like to dip my toe into. And if I really, really wanted to, I have enough people and that around me who I speak to, that if I really want to get involved somewhere along the lines, of course, probably in an unpaid capacity, there'll be some doors opened for me if I really wanted to do that. Now, again, there are certain things that I'd like to do, but I couldn't do due to financial reasons. For example, I couldn't be a promoter because I couldn't afford to do it. I don't have that kind of capital to set me up, and I'm unlikely to get it. And as much as I've bought and paid for my house, and I'm still relatively young, I'm not going to put my house on the line for a career in boxing. I'm not going to do that. So I'm not going to raise capital that way. A YouTube channel certainly ain't going to do that. I ain't KSI, I ain't Logan Paul, anything like that. So Promoter, I'd love to put on some shows, of course. But is that going to happen? No. But I could help people do it. That's for sure. A manager, that's something that I have been asked by. 3 fighters actually have asked me, would I be their manager? Now again, I couldn't be their manager because I don't have the license and it'll take too long to get there. But again, in some ways, you've got to have some kind of capital to start up your own company, your own management company. So it's an official company, all that kind of thing. And then look after the fighters. Now that's something that I would like to do. I do speak to a lot of fighters, and I do kind of like, well, when they ask me certain advice about, about this particular fight, or my manager, he's trying to turn me into a journeyman and I don't want to be, and all these kind of things, I do have these kind of conversations. So that's something that I would love to do, but is it likely? I mean, maybe. It's not something that's beyond the realm of possibility for that one. Again, I've got enough contacts that I would have people around me that would help guide me to do that. Matchmaking, you and everybody listening right now, we are unofficial matchmakers, are we not? When a fight is announced, we will have an opinion on that fight. I'm not too sure about that fight. I think that's a bit dangerous. I personally wouldn't match this fighter against that fighter. I'll probably put this kind of person in there. So matchmaking is something that a boxing fan is kind of inbuilt into our DNA. Like a football fan, for example. I mean, I've been a football fan ever since as far back as I can remember. And every time that my team, Newcastle United for my sins, is doing a transfer, I have an opinion on it. Okay, who's this player? Why are they signing this player for in this position? Why are you getting a defender for when we need a striker? Why are you spending this much money out on this particular striker? What for? I personally will go for this one, spend out a bit more money or a bit less money or whatever it may be. You see, in our minds, we're all experts. We're all matchmakers from one perspective. So being a matchmaker, yeah, of course, I'd like to do that. I'd like to do refereeing. Why not? And I'll be pretty fair in there as well. I'm pretty firm. Is it something that I would probably actively seek to do? No, not really. Not really, no. Timekeeping. Just ring the bell. I mean, any numpty can do that one, right? No disrespect to those who do. But, all you got to do is look, and every 3 minutes, ring that bell. And after 1 minute interval, ring the bell again. Give a 10-second warning. I mean, that's pretty easy, bog standard stuff. Would I do that? I don't know. I don't know. A judge? Sure. Again, you and me, we're all judges, right? We watch a fight and we go, that's not the right result. Those scorecards are a bit far apart, aren't they? Or, no, that person definitely didn't win that one. That's a robbery. Again, we could all be a judge, okay? But officially, it's actually quite difficult to be a judge, in truth. So, yeah, there's plenty of things that I would like to do, but would I actually actively seek to do it? No, I'm not too sure if I would. I don't know. I don't have plans on doing it right now. To be honest with you, I don't really have the time. But I would help, for example, if... Say, for example, Jaffa, Phil Jeffries, if he said, would I mind helping him out and, say, stream his shows on my YouTube channel? I would do that for him. I'll do it for free, of course. I would help out people. So is that working within the boxing industry? I suppose in some ways it is. For example, if I streamed his show, or if Mark Lozelle put on a show, or whoever else, and I put it through my channel, I will probably do the commentary myself, with you guys watching live. Is that working in the boxing industry? Kind of, because I don't need a license to do it. I may get in trouble for the ring walk music because I don't have copyrights, but sure, I would do that. That's probably working within the boxing industry. That's something that I would possibly do. For most, actually. I mean, if any kind of like a promoter out there, if they wanted some kind of TV, or, well, it's not TV, is it? It's YouTube, I would do that. Much like like an IFL do with MTK. That kind of thing. I would probably do that. Just little bits. I mean, I'd help people out. Of course, I'd advise. Am I in the best position to advise? Not really, because I'm not in the industry. But I would do it. I would get involved in the boxing industry on an official kind of platform if I had to do a official title, maybe. But I'm probably more likely to do it going forward in an unofficial capacity. in an unofficial way, where I just kind of like just do what I do, and I'll chip in with the odd show here and there, or I'd help out certain fighters with certain things. I'm not too sure what it is that they need me for, but as in advice or whatever, then of course. Or just sit down and just have a talk. You know, that's the kind of thing that I will be doing, because I have done. But officially, what I see myself standing in front of the Boxing Board of Control, I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. I mean, maybe, if I really put my mind to it and thought, you know what, I really want to be a manager, or I really want to be a promoter, or I really want to do this, and I'm willing to put myself through hoops and go through the apprenticeships and try and get this license in order to try and get that license in the future, if I really want to put myself through the grind, then sure, I would stand in front of the Boxing Board of Control. But right now, I don't have that kind of ambition in me, to be honest with you. It's just a lot of hard work for something that, in truth, you just get a license at the end of it. How many people out there have got a license from the British Boxing Board of Control, or whatever it may be, but don't actually use it? There's a lot of people. There's so many people with a pipe dream of being a trainer. They'll get the license, but don't train people. They'll get a manager's license, but don't manage. So getting a license is one thing, but actually doing it, you're going to have to be pretty committed to do it. So anyway, very good question. As I said, I want to do this particular answer as one video, because here we are, we're currently 11 minutes odd into it already, so that would have ate up a hell of a lot of Q&A. Anyway, Q&A to follow this one. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe, catch you all on the next video.